Today, I think we'll start on our mat and work through our neck and our shoulders and our arms. And I think this will help Janelle a little bit too, but it'll really help me as well. So it's been since Tuesday that I did yoga and got my body stretched, so it's feeling a little bit tight today. So let's take a moment to settle ourselves in on our mat. Bring awareness to our breath. The eyes closed, feeling what your body is bringing to the mat today. And today, as we work on things, something that has come to my mind is compassion for myself, for my body, and being a little bit more gentle on my expectations for my body. Their sitting bones rooted to the mat, our spine nice and tall, our chest open, shoulders relaxed. Pay attention to the place that your body is feeling the breath today. Might be in the nasal passages, the throat, the chest, the belly. And imagine with each inhale, inhaling the earth's energy into your body. And with each exhale, flooding your body from fingertips to the toes, to the ends of the crown of your head, flooding your body with that relaxation, with that energy, with that light. And finding yourself a little more settled on the mat. This is a great time to create an intention for your class today. How you want to show up and be present. Creating an intention for your day. And being aware of the thoughts that are coming to your mind. We'll take the next few breaths to really increase the depth and the length of the breath, the inhale and the exhale, completely filling the chest cavity, the belly, shoulders expanding, chest rising, and contracting completely to empty the breath from the body. Beginning to clear the mind of worries, stresses, concerns, or fears. Always returning to the breath to clear the mind. The next few breaths, let's start to bring that breath into the shoulders, lifting the shoulders as we inhale and letting them completely drop on the exhale. Pushing them up, letting them completely drop. You might notice an audible sigh on your exhale. Let's bring some rotation into the shoulders, bringing them up in a clockwise motion and down, back around on each exhale. Inhaling, bringing them closer together, lifting them, raising them up, exhaling as we push them back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, trying to find the farthest reaches of our shoulder joint. Keeping it nice and soft, make sure you're not increasing tension in your body, that you're just increasing motion, flexibility, always coordinating the movement with the breath. One more breath clockwise, and then we'll reverse it and take several breaths counterclockwise. Again, really finding the farthest reaches of your mobility in the shoulder joint. Inhaling as you bring it up, exhaling as you bring it down. We'll take a couple more here, and then bring our fingertips to the tops of our shoulders. And then we'll rotate elbows. Again, increasing the rotation, the movement of this shoulder joint. Inhaling as we bring the shoulders or the elbows up. Exhaling as we bring them down, trying to touch those elbows in the front, really pressing them down, squeezing shoulder blades together as we bring them around. Starting to warm up this joint, bring motion into it, which lubricates the joints. And we'll reverse directions. Remembering the breath, inhaling as we come up, exhaling as we lower. You might feel some creaking and cracking in these joints. We're loosening them up, warming them up. Let's take one more rotation and then lace the fingers together and the palms to the wall in front of us and open up into the shoulder blades, the back of the neck, tuck that chin tight to the neck or to the chest. Inhaling deep, filling the lungs completely. Nice stretch that comes from a complete breath. And then take your hands together in a fist behind your back and try and straighten the arms and press those fists to the wall behind you, trying to lift the arms, always avoiding pain, working to your edge. And then return our wrists to our knees. And let's start working a little on our neck, dipping the left ear to the left shoulder, pulling the right ear away from the right shoulder. And I'm trying to lower my right shoulder as I lift my right ear. And I can move my chin a little closer to my chest to really stretch into the back of the side of the neck. Release it. This time our right ear goes to our right shoulder, pulling the left shoulder away from the left ear, using a soft, long, drawn-out breath. And then moving the chin closer to the chest to bring that stretch a little farther around to the back side of the neck. Release it, neutral face, face forward. Let's gaze over the left shoulder. So we're really pushing the chin behind the shoulder. And again, you can pull your right shoulder down and away from your right ear and increase that stretch. We're trying to crunch into the left side of the neck, finding your edge, never pain. And exhale to release. Inhale, gaze over the right shoulder. It almost feels like we're giving ourselves our own little massage here, pushing that chin behind the shoulder. And then let's gaze left and right, left and right. Coordinating with the breath, inhaling, exhaling. And then return the face to neutral, drop the chin to the chest one more time. Really breathe deeply into the chest cavity, pull those shoulders down away from the ears. And then release it, chin to the ceiling. And then return the face to neutral. You can move a little bit, stretch it out. And we'll do one complete rotation clockwise with the chin, one complete rotation counterclockwise. You can do it at your own pace. And when you've finished both rotations, reaching your right elbow in front of your chest, grabbing with your left hand, pull that elbow farther across your chest and check into your posture. Make sure that your spine is tall, your chest is broad, open, getting that breath clear into the belly, opening more into that shoulder joint. And let's reach that over and grab it with the opposite hand. So our right elbow is up behind our head, using a little bit of resistance with our left hand. And then reach from underneath with the left hand and work to getting these fingertips closer together. And hopefully you're noticing with some of these exercises that we've been regularly doing that you're getting a lot more flexibility into these joints. Okay, let's release it. This time we'll bring our left elbow in front, grab it with the right hand, pull it farther across the chest. Always using that breath to relax into the stretch. And then let's bring that left elbow up over our head. Reach across with our right hand and pull it over a little bit farther, creating some resistance here. Long spinal breaths. And then bring the right arm from underneath, behind, reaching fingertips towards fingertips. And release it. You can shake it out, move it a little bit, and we'll come to table pose. And get some stretching into the back. Opening up the shoulder blades, really tucking our glutes in, tucking navel to spine, chin to chest, opening up between the shoulder blades. And then on your next inhale, open into cat, and then continue cat-cow at your own pace. Let's reach out a little bit farther up in front of us, do an extended puppy pose. So we're hiking our hips up into the air as high as we can go, and we're stretching, trying to create space between each rib. If you'd like to, you can place your forehead to the mat here. And then let's return to forearms to the mat. And we'll do some lateral stretches into the spine. So we want to take our right arm and we're going to cross it over to a T with the left arm, stretching into the rib cage and getting lateral movement into the vertebrae. Okay, return the arm, and this time we'll stretch with a T with the left side. So place that left arm to a T at the right fingertips, really stretching into the left side of the rib cage. And you can focus on squeezing the right side together. So those right lateral muscles running along the side of our core on the right side, really try and squeeze them together. Tuck that navel in tight.
And you can do some core work here. And we'll do it one more time to the left. Really squeezing into the left side, opening up the right side. And then one more time to the right side, opening the left, squeezing the right together. And then hands back to the mat, a couple more cat-cows at your own pace. And then we'll return to standing. And we'll work on some goddess poses. And start to get our heart rate up, build some heat into our bodies. So find a comfortable stance, space between your legs. I probably have 3 feet, a little short of 3 feet from side to side. I'm gonna move that out a little bit closer so I'm right at about 3 feet. My feet are going to be out at a 45-degree angle. And let's just stand here in this pose for a moment and feel what our body's doing. You should be able to feel some real tightening coming into the hip joints, into those glute muscles. Squeeze your butt cheeks together. Extend the spine nice and tall. Open the chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then let's bring our arms up, kind of like football goal posts. And then keeping this lengthened spine, dropping into a full goddess pose. And if you'd like to, you can work on lowering, find the form of the pose that's working for you, keeping that torso nice and tall. Don't let the torso rotate forward. We really want to keep it tall and straight and press those hips forward, squeezing into the glutes. Okay, we'll inhale and push up, nice and slow, reaching all the way up, stretching tall. And on the exhale, pulling it down, strong arms, tall spine, squeezing those glutes. Now let's tuck that navel right in to the spine and engage the core. Okay, release it, inhale, push up. Exhale, pull down, strong arms, really creating some strength in these movements here. You might feel a little bit of shaking in the body as we're waking up these nerves, fatiguing muscles. Okay, inhale, reach up, nice and tall. Exhale, pull down. Let's go through the movements again. We want to make sure that our shoulders are nice and wide, tension between the shoulder blades, chest is open, hips pushed forward, glutes tucked in. Exhale or inhale, reaching up, give ourselves a little break here. We'll pull it down into goddess one more time. Really create some dynamic strengthening work here and some balance work. And if you feel comfortable and stable, try closing your eyes here. Notice how that increases the work. Inhale, reaching up. And let's shake it out. Should feel your heart rate starting to come up a little bit more, heat building in the chest. Let's come back to our goddess. Feet out at a 45-degree angle. Let's work a little bit on these hips and in these glutes, getting some nice tightness there. Tall spine, open chest. Let's bring the arms in. And one more time, we'll come down into goddess, and then we'll do opposite elbow to opposite knee. So we'll come down to goddess, reaching up, and we're going to tap opposite elbow to opposite knee, back to goddess. Reaching up, opposite knee, opposite elbow, back to goddess. And let's do that 8 times. So right elbow, left knee, 8, 7, keep that spine tall, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, keep the knee high. 1, come back to goddess and hold it. Reach it up and shake it out. And we'll come back into that. This time we're going to take the right arm out and the left leg out as we come out of the goddess. So find goddess again. Nice strong arms, tall spine. Inhale, reaching out. Coming back to goddess. Left side, reaching out. Coming back to goddess. 8 more. 8, 7, tall spine. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to goddess. Holding it in goddess here. Push those hips forward. And inhale, reaching up. And release it. Shake it out. You should feel your heart rate coming up. A lot of heat beginning to build. And we'll do one more. This time we're going to take our right fingertips and our left toes and touch them in front. So if you need to, bring that knee up depending on your balance and your flexibility, work with the pose that works for you. So coming back to goddess, right fingertips, left toes, straight in front of us. Okay, so we've got 8 more, ready? 8, trying to straighten that leg, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to goddess. We're going to hold it here for a few breaths. Tall spine, push those hips forward. 1 more breath. Inhale, reach up and shake it up. We'll work a little bit on our wide leg stretching and come into some warrior work from wide leg pose. So finding a nice stance that feels comfortable for you, and you can come a little bit farther down into this. All depends on where your comfort level is, where your body is, but let's work a little bit more on our posture here at this pose. Glutes, squeeze them in. Pelvis, push it forward. Spine, nice and tall. Chest is open. Let's just stand here and see if we can hold this nice and steady. Feel that heartbeat. And now we'll hinge from the hips with a flat spine coming forward into a nice forward fold. You might need to move your toes a little bit farther toward the long side of the mat. And we'll work here in this wide leg stance for a little while. So find the stance that's comfortable for you. And you may have knees slightly bent, or you can work more towards getting them straight. You may be leaning out a little bit farther with the goal of coming in closer to the feet and lowering our chest nice and flat to the center. And we can tuck that chin in. Straightening the legs a little bit. And we'll release it, and let's lean to the right side. We'll open into this left hip joint. Really leaning into this, opening up the inside of the left hip. And you can keep this right elbow to the inside of the right knee and put a little bit of pressure on that to find an edge that you're working toward with flexibility. Find long, steady breaths and come back to a forward fold. You might find yourself a little bit farther into the forward fold. And if so, you can work on raising your sitting bones higher toward the ceiling. And now let's lean to the left side, opening in to the inside of the right hip joint. Walking our left elbow inside our left knee, and we can create some resistance there to help us a little bit with the stretching. Always remembering that breath, keeping it nice and steady. Using that exhale to relax yourself and calm yourself, and then come back to a forward fold with wide legs. And again, you might find yourself a little bit farther into the forward fold. Okay, release. Back up out of it a little bit. And let's move side to side, left to right. We'll do it 8 times. Right, left, right, left, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's come back to the right side of the mat. And we're going to rotate our torso over the right leg. And we'll find ourselves in a lunge pose here. So we can work on this lunge opening into the front of the left hip. And you can really press the front of this left hip closer to the mat. And if you'd like to support yourself, you can drop this left knee to the mat and come up onto the right knee, or keep the left knee up and come up to the right knee to find a higher lunge. And if you're interested, you can bring those arms up. So I'm going to come back up out of this into a true high lunge here. Holding this while I'm breathing. And then open to warrior 3. Now my warrior 3, I'm really working on keeping the spine tall, finding steadiness and balance. And then I'll slide down this left leg, reaching up the right, straightening the right leg, and gazing up over my right fingertips. And I'll windmill my arms forward, resting the right forearm on the knee, or bringing it down to the mat with both legs straight. And I'll open my chest to the long side of the mat, gazing up over my left fingertips. Always returning to the breath. Okay, coming back to warrior 3. Nice and strong here. And then rotating to the long side of the mat, finding my forward fold, wide leg, flat spine. And hold this a few breaths. This is a good time to check back in with your intention for your practice today. See what your body's feeling. And then let's rotate to the back side of the mat or to the left. So both feet are facing the wall in front of us now. And we're going to come into a lunge. So I've got both of my hands to the mat. And if you'd like to, you can drop that right knee to the mat and bring your chest up nice and tall. Spine opening up, resting your hands on your knees. And if you're interested, you can lift that back leg up a little bit and raise up a little bit farther, lifting the arms, coming into a high lunge pose. Spine is tall, navel's tucked to the chest, to the spine. And rotating to a warrior three. Gazing over those left fingertips, trying to open up our chest to the long side of the mat. And now let's straighten the legs. We'll slide our right arm down the right leg, reaching up. You can keep that left leg bent. Holding straight here. And then let's windmill our arms. This time we'll straighten the legs. Keeping that chest open to the long side of the mat. And if you'd like to, you can bring the left hand to the mat. If you have blocks, it's a good time to use a block here to help hold you. Or you can bend that left leg a little bit to support you a little. Now gaze up over right fingertips. Tucking that navel in. One more breath here. And we'll return to our warrior three. So bring your torso up. Arms straight out. Gazing over the left fingertips. One more deep breath here. Return to forward fold pose. Hinging from the hip. Flat spine. Coming forward. And we'll stretch into a forward fold one more time. Hopefully you'll notice yourself coming into this fold a little bit more easily, a little bit more flexibility. Okay, hinging from the hip, flat spine, coming back up. This time we're going to take our right knee to the mat. The lace side of our right foot is down. And we'll rotate the left toes closer to the front of the mat. Nice tall spine. See if you can hold completely still and steady in this pose. We'll work a little on posture here. Our chest is open, spine is tall, glutes are tucked tight, navel squeezing it in. And we can slide this left arm down the left leg, and then we can stretch into the right side by reaching over with the right arm. Nice long breaths here. Okay, return our torso to neutral. Hands to the mat for one more wide leg fold. Come into this fold a little bit further. And this time we'll take our left knee to the mat. You can support yourself, bring that left knee to the mat. The lace side of your left foot are down. Rotating your right toes toward the back of the mat. Spine is tall, chest is open. And let's slide our right arm down the right leg, reaching up with the left over, really opening into the left side of the rib cage. Squeeze the right side of the rib cage together, keeping that navel tucked in. And we'll return to a forward fold. So both of our hands come to the mat, lifting the left leg up. For our final forward fold. Really push those sitting bones up. And with the flat spine hinging from the hip, using only the strength in the back of the legs, lift the torso up out of the pose. You'll notice that's a lot of work with our legs. Okay, heel toe your feet together a little bit. Probably a great idea to shake out a little bit. And then we'll come back down to our mat and do some work with strengthening into the arms and into the chest. And I like to have this cotton blanket on my mat. Keeps me from sticking to the mat when the weather's a little bit warmer. Okay, let's come to the end of the mat, finding a nice squat here. So you find the form of this pose that's working for you. If your knees have trouble doing this, you can bring your knees down to the mat a little bit. So just feel what your body's needing, never working to pain. And let's try and inch our chest down into that space between our knees a little bit. And if you're interested, reach opposite elbow with opposite hand, and then allow your arms to just hang heavy between your knees, full of gravity on your body. With the head lower, relaxing all of the muscles in the back of the neck and in the back. And let's work a little bit on crow. So I'll cue several variations for this, and you find the variation that works for you. Placing our palms flat to the mat, fingertips pressed in, fingers pressed in, the palms pressed in. We're going to start leaning forward a little bit onto the back of our upper arm. So find your shin on the back of your upper arm, as far up as you can get it. So really just kind of wiggle and inch yourself into this a little bit farther. And we'll begin by lifting our heels off the mat. So we're balancing on the ball of our foot and the toes, and our hands are there to steady us, but we're not really pressing into the hands yet. So we'll lift off the balls of the feet and then begin to press into the palms, pressing the knees to the backs of the upper arm, up onto our tiptoes, and then if you'd like to, lift your feet off the mat. And let's release, coming back down into squat. And to get a little bit of flexibility movement into the knees, you can stand, and squat, stand, and squat. And we'll try that one more time. So at any point along this way, find your edge, find the place that is your work, and then stay there. Always being mindful of the limitations of your body and being compassionate to where your body is. Okay, squeezing back down into this space between our knees, pressing the back of our arms onto our shin, pressing our palms into the mat, coming up onto the balls of our feet and beginning to press our hands into the mat. And this may be your work. If you'd like to continue pressing, lifting up the balls of the feet, pressing the shins into the back of the upper arm, and then press the palms to the mat, lifting the feet up. And then you can release out of it. Coming back to squat, and we'll stand and squat, stand and squat. And then let's reach out forward, coming back to table pose. Couple cat-cows, always keeping flexibility into the spine, using cat-cow to release tension. And then we'll slide farther down onto the mat into a forearm modified plank. So you can keep your knees to the mat, or you can lift your knees up off the mat, and we're on to our forearms. Really try and press your palms into the mat here. We'll hold this plank pose for a moment. And then release out of it. So you can release out of it by coming down onto your stomach or coming back into an extended baby. And we'll come back to forearm plank. Again, if your work is here with your knees to the mat, work on pressing those hips closer to the mat, keeping our forearms close together so our elbows tucked close to our side. And if you're interested, lift the leg into a forearm plank, holding steady here. This is a great time to keep your eyes closed. Really feel that work in your arms. And release back into extended puppy. And we'll come to forearm plank one more time. And this time we'll do a little bit of work with our legs. So you can keep your knees to the mat and you'll get plenty of work that way. You can lift your knees and let's step out with our right leg and step back in. Step out with the left and step back in. Step out with the right, step back in, out with the left, step back in. One more right, one more left. Right, left, and then knees back to the mat. Return to an extended puppy pose. Coming up to table pose. Lifting, lowering, lifting, lowering. And then coming down to our stomachs on the mat. So if you have a block handy, you can grab a block. It's not necessary. You can still do this without a block. So lying on our stomachs, reaching our arms out over our head, lace the side of our feet, come to the mat. Work a little bit on our bow pose. So forehead to the mat. And let's inhale and lift our arms, or you can lift this block if you'd like to. Inhale, lift. We're really working on trying to get the chest up off the mat, our face forward. Try and squeeze your heels together. Lift your arms a little bit higher. And if you have the block, squeeze your palms together, squeezing into that block, really creating some dynamic strengthening in the arms this way. One more breath, and we can release it. Forehead back to the mat. And we'll do a swim pose this time, which means we'll bring our right arm back, our left arm back, our right arm forward, our left arm forward. And I'm going to pass the block as I do this. And you can imagine that you have a block that you're going to pass to work on this swim. Forehead to the mat. Lifting our face, our chest, our arms. Let's swim with our right arm back first, keeping the left arm forward. So bring this right arm back behind our back. Now reach back with the left arm, grab the block, bring the right arm forward again. And now bring the left arm forward. And we'll reverse it. This time we're going to bring the left arm back first. Now the right arm comes back. Left arm forward. Right arm forward. Squeeze the block, lift the chest a little bit higher, squeeze the heels together, and lower yourself slowly, slowly, slowly back to the mat. Okay, we'll do one more time. So bring your heels and toes together. Inhale, lifting your face, lifting your chest, your arms, reaching forward and lifting up, squeezing that block. Inhale, bring the right arm back while you're lifting your chest, keeping this left arm straight in front of us engaged. Lift up a little bit higher, reach the left arm back, lift a little bit higher, right arm forward, left arm forward. Now we've got to reverse it one time here. Lifting up, forward, left arm comes back. Reach that right arm forward and up, right arm comes back. Lift your chest a little higher, left arm comes forward, right arm comes forward. Squeeze this block and then lower slowly, slowly, slowly. And you can lower your hands, resting one cheek to the mat. Breathing deeply, paying attention to what energy is doing in your body. Noticing areas of your body that are speaking to you. We'll work on our legs a couple of times. So rolling to the side, crossing the arms over, and then getting our palms together. So I don't know if you can see this. My arms are crossed, palms are together, lacing my fingers, and I'm going to create a stand to put my pubic bone on, and then I'll roll over onto my stomach. So my pubic bone is resting right on the stand that I'm creating here with my hands. And you might have to kind of soften your hands, wiggle around a little bit to find as much comfort as you can in this pose. And we'll lift the legs. So on the next inhale, lifting the legs up. Pushing those feet up a little bit higher, really squeezing the glutes. Strengthening into the low spine, strengthening into the glutes. Keep your eyes closed here. Remembering the breath. Push them up a little bit higher, 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 and slowly, slowly, slowly release. And if you'd like to, you can roll back to your side and rest for a few breaths here. Shake your arms out. We'll do it one more time. Okay, cross your arms over, palms together, placing it right under that pubic bone. And I kind of move mine a little bit to the side because it's a little less sharp if I kind of rest my pubic bone that way a little bit with my hands a little to the side instead of straight up and down. So find what's comfortable for you. The important work is the lower half of the body, lifting those legs up, squeezing into the glutes, tucking the spine or the navel close to the spine. Okay, let's take a good deep breath. And on the next inhale, we'll lift these legs one more time. Inhale, lift the legs up. Trying to find softness in the face, in the shoulders. Pushing those heels up a little bit higher. Squeezing the glutes, engaging the core, tuck that navel in tight. Breathing deeply. One more breath, push up a little bit higher. And now let's lower for the last time, nice and slowly. You should be feeling so good about what you've accomplished today. This has been pretty intense work. And release the hands. You can bring a cheek to the mat. Taking a few deep breaths, allowing every muscle in your body to completely soften, allowing your body to be supported by the earth. Deep breaths to get your heart rate slowed down, to bring oxygen back into your body. And the rest of class should be nice and relaxing. Okay, coming back up to table. If you'd like to, you can extend into an extended baby pose, stretch out that low spine a little bit. And then return to a seated position. And rooting those sitting bones into the mat. Finding a nice tall spine here. We'll come to a forward fold. Flexing from the hip, keeping a flat spine. So inhale, reaching up, stretching up. Now try and reach these fingertips over your toes. Keeping that spine nice and flat. I'm noticing some tension in my spine. It'll take me a little bit to ease into this pose. I'm going to trust my body. Finding your support, your hands may be on your legs, on the mat. Really working toward getting your chest flat to the mat. And I'm going to try and be real patient with my body as I come into this pose. Noticing more tightness than I've had before. So I'm really trying to listen to that. And be compassionate with my body. And allow it some time to find comfort in this pose. And forward fold is a pretty humbling pose to be in. And it's usually difficult to keep your mind unattached to thoughts, to really focus on what your body's feeling. So if you have a little bit of anxiety you're working through, always return to the breath. Close the eyes so that you can pay attention to what your body is saying. Allowing the exhale to soften yourself into the fold. And allow your body to do the work. This is a good time. We'll be in this pose for about 1 more minute. This is a good time to check back into your intention. Pay attention to the way your body feels. Keeping that breath nice and steady. Pressing the backs of the knees in farther to the mat. Reaching out a little bit farther with each exhale. If you're interested, dip your chin closer to your chest and you'll feel more stretch in the back of your legs, the back of your knees. And we'll take a couple more deep, relaxing, cleansing breaths here. And come out of the fold. Inhaling, always supporting your spine as you come out of this. We never want to leave this spine unsupported. And then we'll stay in
staff pose here for a moment. And allow the blood flow back into our head. Using breath to soften our body, to relax ourselves. And let's do one last final stretch into the spine. We'll take our right leg, cross it over the left. Always wanting to extend the spine, so grow the spine before we go into any lateral movement in any pose. Always stabilize the spine. And then we can start moving the chest toward the long side of the mat and bring this left elbow to the outside of our right knee. And if you're interested in continuing on, gaze over the right shoulder, pressing our chin beyond the right shoulder. Deep breaths, slow and steady, working on calming the body. One more breath here and we'll release. And then this time we'll bring our left leg over the right, growing the spine nice and tall, stabilizing it, open chest, and we'll move our chest toward the long side of the left side of the mat, bringing our right elbow to the outside of our left knee. See if you're soft in this pose or if you're feeling tension. Should be feeling softness in your body. Eyes can be closed, and you can gaze over that left shoulder. One more breath here. And we'll return to our seated position. And we'll move into our final relaxation. And you can do the final relaxation today in any pose that your body is wanting right now. So if you would like to rest in corpse pose and shavasana, you can do that. You can stay in a seated position. You can lie with your feet up on the wall in an inversion position. So listen to your body, see what you're interested in doing. I sometimes like to come down in my final relaxation into yoga mudra. That seems really relaxing and comforting for me. Today I'm going to stay in a seated cross-legged position, and we'll be working a little bit with some breath for our final relaxation. So get a last drink of water. This will probably take 7 to 10 minutes. And this is working a little bit more on mindfulness. And mindfulness is basically just being present in your body and being aware of your body at any given time. So many times our mind just gets flooded with tension, with stress, with schedules, with everything, that we forget what our body is bringing presently to the moment. And returning back to the body, returning the mind back to the body, and what the body is doing often helps us to calm ourselves down in those times of tension and stress. And heaven knows we feel this a lot. And I'd just like to read this at the beginning. It says, during mindful practice, especially when you're just starting out, the body can grow anxious, restless, agitated. To help with this, you can learn to respond to those sensations with compassion and gentleness. And heaven knows I need that. In this practice, you'll work to offer kindness and compassion to the body. You can use this method of calming the body during periods of mindfulness practice, at various moments during your daily life, or whenever you notice the difficulty coming in. So especially, as so much is going on in the world today that feels out of control, this is always a good way to return back to a state of calm and a state of presence. I don't know if some of you have studied Pema Chodron, but I adore her and all of her work. And she talks a lot about, in Buddhism, the idea that the discomfort, the tension, the pressure, the stress will always exist. And we can be peaceful in that, or we can resist it. It doesn't change the nature of what is. And so what we need to do is change the way we think and feel and act about those things. And that comes to my mind all the time. So for this final relaxation, we'll allow our body to settle in. Eyes are closed. Making final adjustments so that we can remain completely still and present for our relaxation. And as you inhale, imagine yourself lengthening your spine. With each exhale, soften, relax, and ease into the form of your body. With each breath, invite energy to fill your body. And with each exhale, invite relaxation into your body. And to continue settling into this practice, notice the points of connection, points of contact of your body to the earth, to your mat, to a chair if you're sitting on a chair. Notice what your body feels in those points of contact. If thoughts come to your mind, you may choose to note them, but let them go. And take a moment to connect with your intention to remain calm during this practice, to remain present and unattached. You may feel tension, anxiety, discomfort. But just recognize those are natural feelings and allow them to just be. And with the next several breaths, offer phrases of loving kindness to the body. And these phrases will serve as a way of connecting to our own intentions to care for the body. Try saying them slowly, connecting the words and their meanings, coordinating the words with the breath. May my body be at ease. May my body be healthy. May I be at ease with my body. May my body be at ease. May my body be healthy. May I be at ease with my body. And as you repeat those phrases, allow your body to settle in, becoming more relaxed. May my body be at ease. May my body be healthy. May I be at ease with my body. Now take a moment to tune into special areas of your body that are grabbing your attention right now. Whatever you come up with, whatever the body speaks, offer a few phrases of loving kindness. And continue to open your awareness This time in particular to parts of the body that are experiencing difficulty or pain. Recognize the discomfort and offer a few phrases of compassion. And in this sense, compassion is simply attending to pain with a tender and open heart. And you may be interested in the following phrases. May my, think of the body part, be free from discomfort. May I care about this discomfort. And may I be present for this discomfort. May my, and think of the body part, be free from discomfort. May I care about this discomfort. And may I be present for this discomfort. Now, after you've taken a few moments of resting with the discomfort, open your awareness again. And this time, open your awareness to where else you are feeling discomfort. Tension, tightness. And again, offer the phrases of comfort. May my, and think of the new body part, be free from discomfort. May I care about this discomfort. And may I be present for this discomfort. Finally, with our last few breaths of relaxation, possibly this thought from Pema Children will help you as you go throughout your day. True yoga practice begins to dissolve the illusion that each of us is alone with this personal suffering and that no one else can understand. Your next few breaths begin to bring small movements back into your body, into your fingers and your toes, your wrists and ankles, stretching the body. Inhaling deeply, filling the lungs, reaching out from fingertips to toes. And when you're ready, returning to a seated cross-legged position. And bringing your hands to heart center in a pose of gratitude. And today I offer you gratitude and compassion and care for the difficulties you may be experiencing. And my wish for you today is to be mindfully aware of your body and to have gratitude for your life experience. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today's practice was exactly what my mind and soul needed. So I appreciate you joining me. And I hope you have a great day. Tomorrow's practice will be Sunday, and it will be a lot of nice, easy, relaxing stretches and complete work on the mat. So if you're interested in that, please join. Love you all. Thanks.